I am Jim Collison, live from our home studios. This is Gallup's Theme Thursday, Season 6, recorded on April 9th, 2020. Theme Thursday is a Gallup webcast series that dives deep into the CliftonStrengths themes, one theme at a time. This season, based on developing teams and managers with CliftonStrengths, and today's theme is Maximizer. If you're listening live, we'd love to have you join us in our chat room. There's a link right above me there. You click on that, it'll take you to YouTube. You can sign in there and ask us your questions live if you like to do that. If you have questions after the fact, you can send us an email, coaching@gallup.com. Don't forget to subscribe if you're on YouTube, wherever you're at on YouTube, just down below. It's actually below Micah. There's a little subscribe button. Click on that, and you'll get notified every time we create something new. And if you're doing what the cool kids are doing and listening to podcasts, those will come back too. You can subscribe, search Gallup Webcast on any podcast platform. Micah Librant is our host today. Mike is a workplace consultant here with me at Gallup. Micah, always great to be with you on Theme Thursday. Welcome back.
Thanks. Gosh, it's great to be here. This season, we are exploring every theme through, as you mentioned, the lens of managers and teams. And we know from our studies in leadership that strong teams have 5 things in common. We're going to use what we call these 5 truths of strong teams to unpack every theme, and we're going domain by domain. Right now, we're just over halfway through the influencing domain. And so today, I hope as you listen and really explore the maximizer theme, which is in that influencing domain, you walk away able to think about how does this theme impact a team? If you have somebody with maximizer on your team, or you lead somebody with maximizer, or you are somebody with maximizer, I hope by the end of our time together, you can walk away and understand more than just, oh, it's an influencing theme. So the short definition of maximizer is this. If you have dominant maximizer, you focus on strengths as a way to stimulate personal and group excellence. You seek to transform something strong into something superb. An important piece about that is it's not just focusing on strengths with a capital S. It's about focusing on what's already working and being able to see how it can be even better.
So go do the first one.
The first truth of a strong team is how they deal with conflict. Conflict doesn't destroy strong teams because strong teams focus instead on results.
And what does it mean to focus on results for someone who's a maximizer?
Well, maximizers really focus on the goal, but then they go beyond it. For a lot of maximizers, the goal is sort of their starting point. It's where they really kind of kick it into gear and think about how can we do even better than what we had set out to begin. It might be important for a maximizer to define layers of success, like a victory parfait. Be able to ask maybe, what is the minimum viable product? What will impress your most important stakeholders? And what resources and or time do we really have to outdo ourselves?
Yeah, I like that. Outdo ourselves. That's that element of overdoing that we talk about. I've often talked about during Maximizer here. How does Maximizer track progress?
So progress isn't just whether something is complete or on track to becoming complete, but if it's going to end up better than the original expectation. That's different for Maximizer. They'll see ways that we can enhance or polish the work that we originally set out to do. So chances are, the closer a Maximizer gets to a goal, the more they expect excellence. I think if you're going to help a Maximizer track progress, ask them to talk not just about where we are, but the difference between our first draft and our final product. Don't lose sight of the good work that has been done simply by finding ways it could be better. Lean into that Maximizer's ability to see enhancements and notice potentials for amendments by asking for what those ways really are.
All right, let's look at number 2.
The second truth of a strong team. Strong teams prioritize what's best for the organization, and then they move forward.
So how does someone with Maximizer kind of focus on that larger purpose, larger goal, larger group?
Maximizers will see every goal through that lens of improvement. really pushing into not just what can be done, but what can be done with true excellence or at a world-class level. They're likely drawn to teams and organizations that are at the top of their game. They're more attracted to working on areas of great potential than they are filling deficits or gaps or fixing what's broken. You can inspire a maximizer and really feed that drive by linking them to what your team or your organization does best. They're going to connect to other people and other bigger ideas other than their own based on their ability to notice potential and to really identify opportunities for excellence.
And what else inspires someone with maximizer to take action?
Areas, like we said, of really strong potential. And sometimes that means that maximizers are inspired to really go into the zone at a point when other people think the project is complete. Maximizer really responds to quality. And responds in a way that they can amplify that into something even greater. So they're not just offering a polishing coat to something or shining something that's already bright simply because they are well positioned as like the final step. They're offering it because typically that kind of high quality, high level, final polish work really happens when someone else is finished enough to stamp something as complete. That's really when a maximizer kind of lights up. And so it is about being able to sort to where other people may be finished and think that it's good enough. That's where maximizers can take it even further.
Yeah, I always think in my own case to take action, when you're inspired to take action, when someone tells you they want to finish a marathon in under or half marathon in under 2 hours, you get inspired to action, right? That was one of those moments for you and I all those years ago to do
Who
better,
told
right?
you they wanted to finish a half marathon in 2 hours?
So number 3.
That was me.
Number
Yeah,
3.
but that's a really good point about maximizer, Jim, of what inspires action is a big challenge, a big goal, like an invitation to say this is going to be significant and excellent.
Yeah, when you had never done that before, I think was the case, and you wanted to get it done. And of course, I didn't know you that well, and it was for me the maximizer kicked in. Like, of course we can do that. Like, we can do that. We can do that well. You're going to finish this. This is going to be great for you, and we're going to make a big deal about it. And so it was a ton of fun to just make it up on that day.
Well, halfway through, I remember thinking I didn't have maximizer and don't really have super high maximizer, but I remember thinking, hold on, maybe that goal was just an idea. Like maybe that isn't important. I can let this go. We can just like keep going. And, maybe my goal was just to get to the finish line, but literally with you running next to me, you had that in mind. And it's about chasing, not just getting it done, but getting it done with excellence. And really that I think there's a resilience to maximizer that stays on that track too.
Yeah. And not just you that day. I think I drug in 10 or 15 people.
Everyone else in the Lincoln Half Marathon.
It was super because we had to get everybody in, right? It was one of those kinds of things of doing more and doing it well, right? So that was great.
And that's why maximizer lives in the influencing domain. It's not just about doing your own work well. It's about pressing others onto that world-class level. Yeah. The third truth here of strong teams is probably about what we're talking about right now. It's that strong teams are as committed to their personal lives as they are to their work.
And so how does maximizer show up in somebody's personal life?
They have high standards. Maybe they're the person you'd most not like to disappoint. It's likely that they're an all-in sort of person because, again, if I think I borrowed this from you, Jim, on maximizer, anything worth doing is worth
overdoing.
They're probably someone who appears to perhaps even demonstrate a similarity to the focus theme, because when they see something of quality and a way that quality can be enhanced, their insight for improvement, it's almost like making a magic spell or putting them into a trance, that focus and sort of going all in on something because they know it can be excellent.
We're focusing on teams and managers this year. How could a manager, knowing this, someone's personal, how could they bring that in or use it to help the team?
There's a lot of questions here that I wrote that I noticed in my language are about really narrowing to the very best, really the extreme. So what have you improved? What's the best thing about our team? What's the most promising thing about your community? What do you like best about your weekend? What strength have you made even better? If you needed to do only one thing with world-class results, what would you be focusing on? Or what are you all in on right now?
Can you get me in under 2 hours? That'll do it too. Number 4.
Yes, you can. You can do it with excellence. Number 4, strong teams embrace diversity. This is huge, and diversity is huge, and definitely an issue that's bigger than simply having a variety of CliftonStrengths things on your team. But when it comes to the research of what we're really talking about here, it is that wherever you find diversity of opinion, of pedigree, of experience, of ideas, that bringing that together is stronger than having just sort of a one-track approach to things.
So we have some descriptor words that we might use for Maximizer. What would you call those? What would you use?
Thinking about, what is the diversity that Maximizer brings? How could we name a Maximizer to determine what they contribute to the team? You could say that they're selective. There's an element of perfection that they're attracted to. I think that perfectionism has a negative connotation, so check your connotation there. Ask yourself what's negative about it. Don't use it if it's negative, but if it describes you, it's that idea of realizing nothing's ever going to be perfect, but the pursuit of it is noble. There's, I think, words like excellence, world class. They could be a quality checker, someone who's very polished, a finisher, and creative.
What unique perspective does a Maximizer bring to a team?
There's this ability to see improvement, to see opportunities for extra finishing touches, or imagine what could be better even when other people can't. And that's what makes me say creative. They bring this kind of almost artistic quality, the consistent ability to see potential, to go farther, to aim higher, to influence more, and to believe that it can happen, and to also dance in that space. It's where they're most comfortable. So their high standards of excellence, that can be contagious. Even if other people can't see or quite imagine what they're describing, they can know that they have a Maximizer on their team who isn't going to let good enough be enough. And that, I think, inspires hard work in other people and pride in the team or in the work that the team is doing.
No, it's a great point. Number 5, and my favorite.
Strong teams are magnets for talent. The way that this is described in the book Strengths-Based Leadership is another way to spot a strong team is to look for the teams that everyone wants to be a part of.
And with Maximizer, what are they looking for? Like, what's attracting them?
Maximizer appreciates what's most promising. And this can make them excellent strength spotters. There's something attractive about working with someone who sees the good in other humans and other projects, who can quickly name opportunities to invest. Really, it's about noticing those places that are going to be your farthest bet, your best bet for a great return on investment, those opportunities for excellence to be truly outstanding.
I notice when I'm talking to people and I'm having a Maximizer moment and I'm inspiring them to do more. Like, hey, this could be so much bigger. I can actually see it in their eyes. Like, I can see their eyes change. I can see their facial expressions change. And I know I've hit something. How else might you describe that gift that Maximizer could bring to a team that kind of attracts those people?
I think sometimes we misunderstand Maximizer and we confuse it with achiever, where it's about do more or do better or accomplish, beat your personal record. There's something I think about those moments I've had with you, Jim, where you're in your Maximizer moment. And what's inspiring to me is that you're focusing that energy on me and what I could do, but it's never about just gather more things. It's usually about set aside something that you're not going to be great at. And that will give you the capacity and the availability and the resources to focus farther into what really speaks to you. In my notes, I describe this as excellence goggles. Maximizers can have an eye for detail. It can also be about just having the courage to push beyond what's currently accepted as good. That kind of ability to see what other people don't, to imagine world-class performance, or to really drive toward additional excellence, it also brings with it a belief that we can meet and max out our own high standards. It's not just a you should do more. It's not just a you should do better. It's we can be better. And I mean, you talk about it like that, and you can't help but see that it's this influencing theme. It's something I want to follow, something I want to be a part of. Maximizer is about finding speed and joy and building upon what's already working. It's not about having patience for fixing what isn't working. So without a Maximizer, I think we carry around a lot of broken pieces with the hope that someday we might fix it. But Maximizer can help us see the value in letting all of that go. And that can be really freeing.
I always like to start those questions with, it could be cool, and you just kind of they look at you, and then you get some opportunity to speak into them. What are those 5 again?
Yeah, the 5 truths of a strong team. So this comes from strengths-based leadership, which I think sometimes people pull off a shelf thinking it's about like me as a leader. But to be completely honest, it's got so much applicability when you want to learn about how to strengthen your entire team, which is really what great leaders do. But the 5 truths are results, not conflict. Do what's best for the organization and then move forward. Work and personal lives are equally important. Embrace diversity, magnets for talent. And that 4th one or the 5th one might really just be a result of the other 4 really firing on all cylinders. But I think they make a really great rubric for where to start if you're consulting with teams or if you're leading your own team. Evaluate which ones are really strong and don't stop there. Ask yourself, what are you doing that's making them strong?
In the current situation we're in, we all can probably use a little talent mindfulness. I'm struggling a little bit myself today, so I'm looking forward to digging in on this one with you, Micah. What do you have for us today?
I got you, maximizer friend. So
We'll see in a
talent, thanks. Talent mindfulness is a short practice that Jim's going to do right now, that I invite you to do as well. It's meant to turn your attention inward toward your own talent. If you're new to Theme Thursday, we started this in season 5, and so there are 34 of them for season 5. In season 6, where we are right now, there's eventually going to be even more than 34 because we've got a couple bonus episodes this season. But it really is just 3 to 5 minutes at the end of every episode for you to focus on yourself. And we'll have some reflective questions and some exercises that are not about learning the theme, that are just about practicing your own awareness of your talent. So to begin, I invite you to close your eyes just a moment. You don't have to leave them closed. Pay attention to your body. This is a really great way to quickly tune into yourself. I'll be quiet while you take 2 full breaths. If it helps you focus your attention inward, you can keep your eyes closed. If not, you're welcome to open them back up. We're going to start today with a few quotes. You don't have to analyze or judge them, just listen. The first is from Michael Jordan. My best skill was that I was coachable. I was a sponge and aggressive to learn. The next quote is from Christopher Cumby. You must always be the apprentice, even when you become the master. And the last quote is a compilation of something I've learned from a collection of my own motivational influencers. It doesn't get easier, you just get stronger. As you're soaking up those word gifts, I want you to personalize what those quotes really mean. So I'm going to ask you a few questions now about yourself and your own patterns of being. You might want to write these down, but you certainly don't have to. You can always come back and just replay this and maybe journal it, maybe use it as something that you share with others. The first question, this past week, when did you do something exceptionally well? I want you to stop here and really think about it because it might not be an easy thing to answer. It's likely something you do pretty naturally, something you do without noticing, maybe something you do without really valuing. So let me just ask it again. This past week, when did you do something exceptionally well? And here's the next question. Who in your life, at work, at home, in your community, or maybe even someone you don't personally know, encourages you to do better? Who believes in your potential beyond what you are currently demonstrating? If you've been following, you currently have 2 important ideas in your brain. One, your example of greatness, and 2, A key partner who sees excellence within you. Now, here's your challenge. It's 2 parts. The first part I want you to do right now, and the second I want you to do within the next week. But I'm going to say them in reverse order. So, first, here's what you need to plan for in the next week. Your challenge is to spend 10 minutes more than you normally would in the presence of this person, that key influencer, that person whose face came into your brain when I asked who believes in your presence, who believes in your excellence, who believes in your potential beyond what you're currently demonstrating. Spend 10 more minutes than you normally would with that person. Maybe you tell them why, that it's about what they contribute to you. Maybe you just call or text or Zoom with them to say hello or to say thank you. But the assignment is just to spend 10 more minutes than you typically would with them. The second part of the challenge is for right now. Imagine this person wears glasses. And imagine you could take those glasses and put them on and look at yourself. Looking through their lens of belief, potential, and certainty about your talent. How do you see yourself differently? As soon as we wrap up this podcast, please take 60 seconds to write down everything that comes to mind about how this person sees your potential. That is your talent mindfulness for today.
I'll have to spend some time with you. With that, we'll remind everyone to take full advantages of all the resources we have available now in Gallup Access. If you head out to gallup.com/CliftonStrengths, that'll actually, and then sign into Access through there. It'll take you right to your strengths dashboard. We continue to add resources to Access. And so if you haven't been out there in a while and you haven't looked around in a while, you might just want to, while you're on the gallup.com/CliftonStrengths page, we continue to add resources out there as well. And lots of them are available for you. So get out there, get that done. While you're at it, go all the way to the bottom of the page, sign up for the Clifton Strengths community newsletter available for you every single month, just kind of your way to stay connected to what's going on in the strengths community. And then don't forget, if you're not listening to us in a podcast or you haven't subscribed on YouTube, do that right now. It's actually right below Micah. Just subscribe to us. This is the live channel that you're on. Maybe if you're listening to the recorded version of it and the edited version, that's our edited page, and you can subscribe there as well. Get a notification every time it's done. If you subscribe to us as a podcast on any podcast app, look for Gallup Webcasts and subscribe to us there. You'll never miss an episode. We are, for those of you who are listening in the recorded version or on the podcast version of this, we are a little bit behind. We've gotten that way. You may be thinking, oh, this is slowing down. Well, come out and join us live. That's the most current stuff that you're out. But with everything that's going on, we're a smidge behind. So apologize for that as well. If you have questions, send us an email, coaching@gallup.com. Don't forget to follow us on Eventbrite. I do, and I am now posting new events almost every single day of the week. Follow us, go to gallup.eventbrite.com, and then follow us there. And you'll get a notification or an email whenever I post something new. The 2020 Gallup at Work Summit is now completely virtual. And so if you'd like to join us for that, you can do that from wherever you are in the world now. You don't have to come to Omaha. We're sad that we're going to miss you, but we wanted to see you too. But you can do it 100% virtual with us now. Details are available at gallupatwork.com, and we'd love to see you there. There might be, Micah, in the mid show here, I might have a little surprise for those folks. So just hang tight, some stuff around that as well. And then, of course, follow us on our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/call-to-coach. If you're on LinkedIn, search Clifton Strengths trained coaches, and I'll let you in that group as well. I want to thank you for joining us today. If you're listening live, stay for the next one, I think self-assurance. And with that, we'll say goodbye, everybody.